What is going on, guys? Got another breakdown for UFC 268. Fun fight at lightweight. We got Bobby Green taking on Iaquinta, two veterans. Bobby Green's going to have a 1 inch reach advantage. They're the same height. Iaquinta coming off a long layoff, so I'll start with him. We haven't seen Iaquinta since late 2019 when he lost to Dan Hooker pretty decisively. That was in Australia, so Hooker's backyard, and it was a big step up fight for Hooker. He was ranked 15th at the time, and he just kind of got dismantled. Same thing before against Cowboy. It was not a good fight for Iaquinta. I'll talk about in a second. But on the plus side, the three fights before that, probably the best little stretch of Iaquinta's career. Beat Diego Sanchez, who, faded hard at the end, but I can't really honestly remember what Diego Sanchez was like 2017, but it was definitely a better win in 2017 than it would have been in 2021. But honestly, the best thing Iaquinta ever did in his career, honestly, was fought a competitive fight against Khabib. Still lost by unanimous decision, but I mean, it's Khabib. And yeah, he was in that fight. It was I think Khabib was looking to strike a little bit too much, but Iaquinta steps in at short notice, I believe, if I remember correctly, and has a pretty competitive fight against Khabib, and he beats Kevin Lee. So that little stretch there is good. But then the last two, he got hit a lot against Cowboy. His eyes were like basically closed. Like he got the shit kicked out of him. And then against Dan Hooker, like I said, he got dismantled too. Hooker took away that lead leg, forced him to fight southpaw, and Al was just toast. He was getting pieced up. Got pieced up in the first round, and then he fought back pretty well. He was getting in close. Managed to get some takedowns, but or like at least one or two. But Hooker has pretty good scrambles, and wasn't really troubled on the ground. And then he got dropped at the end of round two, and then round three is pretty decisive. In both of his last two fights, he's just looked rough at the end of them. Like I mean, good strikers both ways, and it's another good striker this time. But yeah, they were really able to land on Al Iaquinta's face. Let's put it that way. And yeah, he was battered in both fights. But stylistically, Iaquinta, good wrestler. He's one of those wrestlers too that kind of has like these clubbing hooks that guys aren't really looking for. They're worried about the takedown, his primary game. Then he just comes over the top with a hook, and it ends up stunning people sometimes. So he's got decent hands. Historically, he's been with Sarah Longo, but yeah, Iaquinta definitely a guy who's earned his roster spot for a long time. It's been a couple years since we've seen him, and also if you follow the sport, I'm sure you probably know Al Iaquinta is like a big real estate guy. He makes a shit ton of money from selling houses. So good for him, but it's felt like for a while now his main focus has been the real estate game, which is great. I'm sure he makes a lot of money, but it's just for betting purposes, it's worth keeping in mind. And then so Bobby Green, definitely one of my favorite like mid ticket fighters in the UFC. I love watching him fight. He's a fun fighter. He's got a chin, and yeah, just really good hands, really good boxing from Bobby Green. Great head movement, and he's very active. He fights a couple times a year. This will be his second time in 2021, but he was very active in 2020. Fought four times, went 3-1. The one loss was a little controversial. I think could have gone either way. I think Thiago Moises is very good too. I think he's one of the more underrated guys in the division, and I could see him just being one of those guys whose career really starts coming together a little bit late. He's done nothing but improve since a little bit of a rough going early on in his career. And in that one, Bobby Green did a lot of things well, but Tiago was just kind of winning the exchanges. I still thought Bobby just outlanded him enough, but yeah, Tiago, a lot of power. He really reminds me of Vicente Luque a lot now. He's like really like molding into that fighter and doesn't really have the finishing power that Luque has, but just similar striking style, good submission threat, and just heavy hands. So not at all bad two losses there. And then in the Rafael Fiziev fight, Bobby was very much in that fight. A lot of people thought he did enough late to win that one. But yeah, Bobby, it's just a very, very good career, underrated guy. Picked up wins against a lot of veterans, lost a lot of close decisions in his career. Just very game fighter. And yeah, like I was saying, for the style wise, he's got great boxing. He'll mix it up. He's pretty heavy. He's got good front kicks that he uses to the body sometimes. Um, His takedown defense pretty good. His scrambles are good. He's good at getting up. So it's important to note for this fight because Iaquinta's best path probably try to wrestle. And yeah, he keeps his hands down a lot. He's definitely got like a Nate Diaz streak in him where he just kind of showboats a little bit too much sometimes. He has given up rounds, has gotten himself caught, but on the plus side, you keep your hands down. It's hard for the other guy to read where your punches are coming from. And Bobby's definitely a creative striker. And like I said, the head movement I think is one of the best parts about Bobby's game. He's got excellent head movement. He is one of those guys who just relies on it a little bit too much. It can lead you to trouble. Even if your head movement's great, you just kind of don't want to just always be spinning out of the way of shots. Eventually, just your luck's gonna run out. You're gonna lean right into something. But I don't think he's gonna be troubled by Al Iaquinta for that. Iaquinta does his best work in close, and with Bobby's head movement, I don't see him getting caught with a hook or anything. And so for this one, we got Bobby Green at minus 168. I definitely like Bobby Green in this one, mostly just because of the layoff. I mean, a lot of reasons. Like honestly, like stylistically, I just like Bobby in this one, even if it was in 2019. When Iaquinta was still active, it's just his last two fights. People put striking clinics on him, and Bobby Green is definitely capable of doing that. He's got very fast hands, and it's just with the whole real estate thing, it's definitely a factor, man. Like I don't know how much Al is really like still like in the fight game, whereas Bobby Green very much a game fighter. He's always in there, very active, and he's been fighting at a high level these last couple of years. Like I said, man, he's just he's a couple like just different judges away from definitely being ranked and possibly being ranked like 11th or something if like I said, if he was able to get those decisions in those last two fights, argument could be made either way. And both those guys are solid. Both those guys are ranked. And yeah, I can't not pick Bobby Green. I think he's just a little bit better everywhere except the wrestling. But he's got good enough scrambles. He's got good enough takedown defense to where I don't think he's gonna get grapple fucked by Al Iaquinta, even if he was still active. And just on the feet shouldn't be anywhere close. So even if Bobby, uh, you know, pulls some Nate Diaz shit and just showboats a little bit too much and makes you stress, I don't think Al is going to be able to win anyway. So I definitely like this line. I like Bobby Green at minus 168. And I'll have my bets on Thursday, so I'll show you what I did with this. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Share, subscribe, and take it easy.